sitting down here with the Bowie Bay Sox, and now we've got Zach Lowther here joining MASN All Access. Zach, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Last time I talked to you, it was at the end of the year last year on MASN All Access, back up in Baltimore in the studio. Now you were with Bowie, and you've had quite a lot of success this year. How has this year gone for you?
It's gone really well. I've been happy with a lot of my progress, stuff I've been working on week in and week out. A lot of the tools that we've been working with to develop some of my pitches. Jumping up from high to double A has been a challenge, but I think I've embraced that.
And your stats certainly back that up as well. We've heard from Buck Britton and others that you have especially been a guy that has relied on the analytics and listened to that, how and what that says about your game and how you've changed that. Is that something that you've relied on and used a whole lot?
Yeah, I love all the feedback that we've been getting, and for a guy like me, I'm not an overpowering pitcher, but being able to use my stuff to the best of its ability is something that is going to help me get to each next level. So being able to kind of know who I am as a pitcher, utilize my stuff as well as I can, and being able to execute each and every day I'm out there is something that I'm going to pride myself on. So being able to use the resources that we have is something that I'm always going to do.
Yeah, and you've got a fastball, curveball, changeup. Has any one of those pitches been affected more or changed more throughout the season because of the feedback that you've gotten?
I think each and every one of them has, and whether it's how I use them or how the pitch itself moves, or just each component of my game has kind of advanced to a point where, I've gotten better from last year, and that was the goal coming into this year. Is and I don't want to even out. I want to keep getting better each and every year, just to be able to maintain what I had and grow on it. So my fastball, curveball, change is always going to be my repertoire. But maybe being able to add, see what I have each and every week. But I really like using all that stuff to advance those pitches.
You have had a lot of soft contact against you, I've noticed as well. Not as many strikeouts per se as at the lower levels, but it feels like, the guys that do make contact against you aren't hitting it very far. Is that something that you've noticed as well?
Yeah, I definitely think with my ability to execute each 3 pitches is something that has kind of given the hitters just another thing to think about, because I know in the past I was a very fastball dominant pitcher. So, if they can expect a fastball 80% of the time and guess right, then they have a better chance of hitting it harder. So being able to have all 3 pitches every night is something that is helping me keep the hitters on their toes and really being able to keep me in control of the pace of the game.
So you're throwing your fastball a whole lot less than you used to?
On average, yes.
Okay.
It's still my best pitch, but being able to complement it with my curveball and my changeup each and every night is something that has helped me a lot, and I've been able to learn how to pitch more with it.
Gotcha. Now, you came from Xavier when you were drafted by the Orioles in 2017, and you have a guy on this Bowie team that you are very familiar with from your days at Xavier, Rylan Bannon, right?
Yes, yeah, we were actually roommates in college, drafted the same year, and it was really funny how he got over here, but I love having him behind me and in the lineup every night.
Nice, yeah. When that trade was made, obviously you were at different levels at that point, but was that something that you took note of, and did you reach out to him when that happened?
Oh, absolutely. I remember we were in the middle of a game in Frederick, and we heard the rumblings about the Manny Machado trade and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So right before our game, I texted Rylan. I said, "Hey, hope you're in this trade and hope I get to see you." And his name was not even in the conversation when I heard that. And middle of the game, our trainer down there, athletic trainer down there, goes, "Hey, do you know Rylan Bannon?" And I thought he was just messing around with me. And he goes, "Yeah, we just traded for him." So I take off running to the locker room, and I get on the phone with him, and I'm like, "Did you just get traded?" And he goes, "Yep."
So Did we just become best friends?
Exactly. And so it was really exciting because, I was just messing around. I was really kind of like wishful thinking that he'd end up here.
Yeah.
And when he did, I was super pumped and really excited for him to have the trade. I mean, that just says a lot about who he is and how highly the teams think of him, and for his promotion too. Just everything was probably a whirlwind for him, but really, really cool from my eyes.
Obviously, this is your first season in Double-A. Did you, when you got that news that you were going to be coming to Double A, was that something that was on your mind?
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew he had the experience last year, so me coming in, I blew him up with questions. What's the style like? How are the hitters and all that? And he's like, dude, just pitch. Like that's literally what you have to do. And so it was really easy to talk to him just because going back to college, we were roommates. I always talked to him about what to expect and all that. And he kind of gave me a good rundown, and a lot of the guys in the locker room besides Rylan helped too. But it was very fun to get on the field again with him in a real game, because spring training's here and there, but once we got here, it was really, really exciting to have him behind me.
That's awesome. And that idea of just pitching is something that I feel like I've heard a lot today, is the relaxed atmosphere, the laid-back atmosphere of this team. Does it start with Buck Britton at the top?
Oh, absolutely. I got the pleasure of having him down in Delmarva.
That's right, yeah.
In my first full season, and I mean, we were going well, and he was able to keep young guys, old guys in check, just keep them level-headed, and teach them the ins and outs of baseball that some of the younger guys don't know, and even some of the older guys just coming into pro ball don't really grasp yet. So him coming to Double A, the guys here are a little more advanced, and it's just he brings the level of the game that we're still learning, and being able to have him at the helm is something that I really enjoy, and he communicates very well, and just I think a lot of the guys like him.
And something else I want to get your thoughts on. You have the 6-man rotation here. Is that something that you've ever been a part of at any level?
I was kind of. I mean, in Delmarva we had a 6-man just because a lot of the guys there were younger, so we needed them to get innings and whatnot. But Frederick jumped back and forth between a 5 and 6-man. So you kind of get used to it, and you just build your routine around it. But I think jumping back and forth is something that guys can struggle with, and once we get on a 5-man or a 6-man, whatever it be, you kind of want to just stick with that for a month or so to get yourself into a routine. Because with travel, with the teams you play, how your body responds, you got one less day on a 5-man, you got one more day on a 6-man. So just being able to kind of get yourself in a routine, and when it's your day to pitch, you go out there and pitch.
And it's worked out well for this whole rotation, and you in particular. So good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for joining us here on MASN All Access.
Thank you.
Zach Lowther joining us, sitting down here in Bowie.